You know, when I was a kid, I was called different names, and I didn't understand because I where they came from. I knew I felt different than a lot of other kids, and so I went into the dictionary and then into the encyclopedia, and there was like this like one line that said about homosexuality, saying that homosexuality is a sickness, it's an illness, and so I took that with me that there was something wrong with me.
But things have changed. Now two cameras are fixed on him as he slowly spells out his name.
My first name is Ronnie, Ronnie. Last name is Grace, Grace.
To make sure we identify him correctly.
And now, you know, I can bring my whole self into a situation, bring my whole self into any doors that I walk through. Whereas there was a time where I wanted to hide my identity because of all the stigma that exists in the world.
This is one of Ronnie Grace's last interviews, taped around Pride Month last summer. Ronnie died in November from stage 4 cancer. During his lifetime, he fought for equality just as fiercely as he fought the HIV virus. He spoke with Black Nouveau in 2014 to talk candidly about his journey with HIV.
I tested positive, it's over 28 years now. September 17, 1987 was the exact date. I got tested in a time when technology was new around HIV testing. So initially, I thought I had gotten what they called a false positive. But unfortunately, it was not a false positive. But I went into denial about my HIV status for several years until I started manifesting some health issues.
Ronnie Grace was living in Los Angeles when he tested positive for HIV. Openly gay, he worked in the entertainment industry. Like many of his peers, he went into denial.
I was just scared, and that was the way that I dealt with it. It was just the fear of having a disease that people were saying at the time that we would live maybe 6 months with. And so I didn't know how to discuss it. I didn't have any information around HIV at the time. So I just figured if I just didn't talk about it, I figured that it might go away, or that I was one of those people who had gotten a false positive. And I just started using condoms, to protect myself and to protect my partners.
Ronnie moved to Atlanta and eventually fell ill. Then his family stepped in.
Actually, I had tried to commit suicide after finding out about my HIV diagnosis and becoming clearer about what it meant to have HIV. And so my mother sent my brothers to Atlanta, where I was living at the time, and she said, I want y'all to go down there, find my baby, and don't come back to Milwaukee without him. And so they brought me back here. I got into care immediately, and that's when I found out about that not only that I was living with HIV, but I was given an AIDS diagnosis. And I was told at the time, I wasn't doing really well. I was down to maybe like 120 pounds. What turned it around was the unconditional love, support of my family. My mother in particular was just an amazing ally and support system, and my siblings, and I got into care.
Ronnie works at Diverse and Resilient with a team of professionals that offer testing, counseling, and support for transgender, gay, and bisexual men with HIV. African Americans accounted for over 46% of new diagnoses in 2011, and 72% of those were transmitted by men having sex with men.
Stigma is still off the chain. As a matter of fact, just last week, I was told that someone that I normally test found out that I was HIV positive and did not want to be tested by me anymore.
Ronnie is careful about his diet and follows a strict regimen.
For those of us who have managed to figure out ways to stay here, to stay healthy and take our meds and do the things to keep us here, it's like sometimes many of us feel like we're forgotten because so many of the efforts and so much of the outreach is to younger demographics. And so we still deal with issues around losing really close friends and family members. When I first developed the virus, it was like, why me? And now it's like, why not me? And then sometimes it's like, I just have so many feelings around still being here and watching the impact that the virus has had on, the African American communities.
And Ronnie served Milwaukee's African American LGBTQ community at Diverse and Resilient for almost 2 decades.